Hello, Team UAB Urology, and welcome to Monday Momentum on December 1st, 2025. Can't believe it's December already. The year has passed very quickly, and we have accomplished a lot this year. So, welcome to December. First, I'd start off with a shout out. I want to call out Zach Burns, one of our terrific chief residents, and the whole resident body, as well as Dr. Adam Klein and Dr. Tim Boswell, who are our program director and our assistant program director, or one of our associate program directors for the residency program in education. This was a funny year for holidays. If you've looked ahead in your calendars, the hospital side and the university side have two different schedules for the holidays. So this year, the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day holidays are a Wednesday and a Thursday, but that leaves this funny hanging Friday afterwards. The university is providing the Thursday and Friday as a holiday, and the hospital is providing Christmas Eve, the Wednesday and the Thursday of Christmas Day, and the Wednesday and Thursday of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as a holiday. So they're offset, which is, from my understanding, a first time that anybody can remember this having happened. So it creates a coverage issue for patients and for clinical services because if people, residents, are having a holiday or given a holiday on that Thursday and Friday, but there's an open operating room on the Friday, then if residents are on holiday that day, it's a challenge because how do we arrange for coverage when the holidays for the hospital are the Wednesday and Thursday? So that offset kind of makes it a little bit tricky to make sure that we ensure high quality patient care in continuity during that time. So Dr. Burns and Doctors Klein and Boswell worked together on Saturday, along with all the resident body, to get some input to try to figure out some coverage abilities to be able to put together a schedule that would provide the maximum coverage for our patients, to provide continuous coverage services, both in the operating room and on the wards and in the clinics, and try to be as smooth as possible in the face of an unusual event or an unusual calendar for this year. And I just want to highlight that because, one, I mean, they did it on hours that were not in work hours, so they went out of their way in off hours to really think through a problem and try to come together. And two, they worked in a team to try to come to a resolution that actually works really well for our entire team and our patients, putting our patients first. And that type of going out of your way, rolling up your sleeves, going the extra mile to do the right thing, and coming together to collaborate to come to a optimal solution, but that's a great moment. So I want to celebrate that and call that out. It'll take me now to transition into the thing I wanted to talk about today during the middle segment of today's Monday Momentum, and that's around our education mission. So, as you all know, we have three missions: to discover, to serve, and to inspire. And that third mission, to inspire, is really about education. So, when we have thought about, okay, what do we want to do in our education mission? How do we want to educate? People here really want to inspire a next generation of wonderful physicians and scientists and staff members to go out and impact lives and make a difference. The reason I highlight it is that this week we have our residency interviews. And so, if folks don't know, every year we interview somewhere upwards of about 100 and 200 applications come through applying to try to say, I'd like to be a resident at UAB Urology. And Dr. Klein, who is our program director, and Loranda Howard, who is our director of education, and Katrina Edmonds, who is our assistant program education director. They and the entire team, that includes Dr. Tim Boswell, one of our associate program directors, and Dr. Carmen Tong, another of our assistant program directors, all come together and distribute these applications amongst faculty that volunteer to read through them all. Once that application occurs and all the applications are reviewed, then we rank them and we say, okay, we think this is a person with great potential. We'd love to bring them here for an interview. And we end up interviewing somewhere between 30 and 45 or 50 applicants who will either come in person or will have already come in person as a visiting uh, acting intern or visiting sub-I. So they come for a month to spend time on service and see what it's like to be here and get a kind of a dress rehearsal. So between those two pools of people, we'll actually end up interviewing in person a fairly reasonable size of people, somewhere between 30 and 50 or so applicants. And that happens this week. So it's a big week. So my hat's off to the entire education team who put a lot of effort into making a great experience. making sure that we provide every opportunity for these resident applications to see who we are, to get a sense of what it might be like to work here. And it's also a great week because people have the opportunity to make an impact on this application process. So I think there are many things that go into how a person selects where they want to go for the residency. A lot of people ask many questions when they come for their residency interview. I'd say the most common questions that we tend to field are one, what's the culture like in this place? What kind of mentorship will I have? So culture, mentorship. Uh, what's it like to actually work here? And what are the big changes that we see in front of us? And what might I expect during my residency if I was here for 5 years or longer? And so during this week, I think there's an opportunity for you to have an impact on the people that you see and to shape the future of who we are. One of the things I oftentimes think about is as a department, as a team, as a group of people, what are we actually doing? Our mission, of course, to discover, to try to innovate and come up with great new things that are great for our patients, for science, for the advancement of the field of urology and beyond. That mission to serve is really about bringing our clinical care of the highest quality and excellence into our communities, into our patients, and to our patients so that we can elevate the level of health of Birmingham, Alabama, and the country. This last bit about inspiration is really the other thing that we produce. And when we talk about one of our most important production products, that's really our residents, our trainees, our fellows, the people that come here to train with us, to learn from us, and then go out there and then start their own careers. Because that's the mission that when we engage in, we're actually creating a pathway and a workforce that's going to help sustain excellent healthcare here in the United States, both for Birmingham, Alabama, and beyond. So it's such an important part of what we do. So how can people make a difference? So when you think about how do I participate in the education of the people around me, if you're a staff member this week, you'll have the opportunity to see applicants coming in from many places around the country, around the region, looking at residency. That's an opportunity to strike up a conversation. Let them know a little about who you are. What inspires you to be here at UAB? What do you like about the work that you do? What brings you to work with a smile on your face, let you go home with a smile on your face? And maybe that helps to fill in some color for our applicants to make them think, oh, actually, this is a place I really would like to work and train at and be with for 5 years or more. If you're another resident, that's obviously, a huge opportunity for you to have an impact. There'll be a couple of social events this week. There'll be opportunities for you to drop in to see the applicants in the holding room that we have outside of FOT, the office towers. There's that big resident room. Drop on by, say hello, give them a little glimpse into a window of your life and let them know what it's like here. For the faculty who are interviewing, put your best foot forward. For clinical staff and other staff who are part of our team, when you see an applicant around, strike up a conversation. Let them know what are the things that you really enjoy about your work, about coming to UAB Urology every day. And if you're in the science area, make an opportunity to stop by that room today or this week. So they'll be here on Tuesday and Thursday this week for their interviews. So they'll be kind of milling about all day on those days up in the FOT. Come on by, say hello. It makes a huge impact. You never know what one little interaction can do to impact a person's perspective, to impact the way they think about where they'd like to go and stay. There's so many moments in life where you have a passing conversation with somebody and you don't even realize what a massive impact it has on people. I'm always struck by that when years later I'll come across a now resident or a now faculty member who says, Tom, I met you at this meeting a number of years ago and you were very nice to me. And that inspired me to come into urology. Or that was a moment that made me think, oh, maybe I'd like to do some stonework or something that kind of changed their way of thinking. And it's a passing moment for you, but it can be incredibly impactful for the person on the receiving end. And that's one of the things that we can do to help shape our future, to help shape the future that we're trying to get to inspire a next generation of a wonderful workforce of high quality physicians, scientists, trainees that will go out and help us to elevate the quality of care and the quality of urology out there in the world. So, with that in mind, I hope you engage this week in our mission to inspire. Come by, meet some applicants, say hello, tell them a little about your story, listen to their story, and that's an opportunity to really have an impact and make a difference. Thanks so much for tuning in today's Monday Momentum for December 1st. Happy December, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.